Hello my lovies, welcome back to My True Life. My name is Gaia Quintana and I love planning to make sure that I live my true life, aka the life that I actually want to live, and not the life that society or my friends or family try to force on me because we've got a lot of stuff we have to do. So can I please have some control of what I do in my life? And yes, that is possible and I make sure I plan that. So what we have here is my Hobonichi A6 bullet journal. Hobonichi doesn't have like an actual bullet journal. This is just a notebook without any design except for this grid page. And I use that as my bullet journal. I have a separate video on that, so if you want to check that out, check my channel after this video. Then I've got my Hobonichi weeks. This is the 2023 January start, and we will be planning for week 33, which starts with Monday, August 14th. And the reason why I really need to use these two together is because this one is mainly for my appointments and some house chores and some tracking. And then here in my bullet journal, I really work out what the tasks are that I need to finish. And this is what keeps my brain very productive and in order. So that's why I have two analog systems and I combine these with Google Calendar. I have a separate video on that as well, so check my channel later. But let's start with the Hobonichi weeks for week 33. This video is gonna be a bit more chatty, so if you like that, definitely grab yourself a drink. Like I got myself a little bit of tea over here, some strawberry tea. And we're just gonna make a very simple layout like I always do. So what had happened was, is that these last 2 weeks I've had this weird flu. It wasn't really pushing through, but it wasn't also, you know, kicking back. So I kept feeling under the weather with lots of headaches and weird feverish episodes. It was very annoying. Behind the scenes in my private life, some things weren't going as planned. So I really need to put myself back on track by planning what I need to do next week, because my house is, for example, a little meshy, but so is my business life, because behind the scenes of my business, I've also been slacking a little bit. I've not been super organized as I usually am, and I don't like that. So that is why I like to use productive/practical planning, because even though if you mess things up, a good planning can get you back on track. And it's always good for me because if I plan, I also create some clarity in my brain, which I really need. I always do this super simple layout. I've been using it for months now and it really works well for me. I think when you finally find a way of planning that works for you, it's good to stick with it. I see a lot of YouTube videos of other people who constantly create different spreads, and honestly, it gives me stress. I'm like, pick something and stick with it. Although I understand that sometimes it takes a while to like really stick to something because you have to figure it all out. Some people, I don't get how they constantly change from like planner to another planner, and then they switch like planning styles, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you keep track? I think that creates more stress than actual productiveness. So that's why I'm really boring and I stick to the same layout and planning style unless it really doesn't work. But that has yet to happen. So I keep it really simple. So I know a lot of people use their Hobonichi weeks for bullet journaling as well. Like I said, I keep that separate because my brain works a certain way, and I've really learned how my brain works during all of the lockdowns, during the panini. And so I figured out that if I do too many things in the same or on the same page, and if I don't separate certain things, my mind is going to not get it. Or I mean, I get it, but it's not gonna see the logic in it. So I tend to keep things separate. And I use my Hobonichi weeks mainly for planning. So what do I do on this day? At what time? With whom? And what do I need to bring? So that, because this is actually like a planner, right? It's an agenda, as we would say in the Netherlands. So that's how I use it. All right. I need one more sticker. So what I'm doing here is dividing up my note page into sections. This first one is for shopping, grocery shopping, to keep track of what I have in my fridge, what I actually eat, because I don't want to be wasteful. The second part is for personal things like around the house, or for example, my nail broke and I have to make a new appointment with my nail tech. She was on a holiday, I was on a holiday, and then I got sick, so now my nails look atrocious. But things like that are what I also put in my Hobonichi weeks, because when life gets messy, I tend to neglect the things that make me feel good because I go into crisis control and I'm just like, yeah, stuff needs to get done, and what is important for me just gets pushed back a little. But for example, my nails, I don't really go to hair salons that much because my hair is usually always just long and it grows and it gets like the most simple cut ever. But yeah, my nails are the one thing that I like to splurge on when it comes to like beauty stuff. And, you know, when the going gets tough, that gets pushed to the back. But it's equally important to take care of yourself, even though it's just like nails. Like nails are not that important, right? But if it's something that makes you feel good on a daily basis, I think it's worth investing in and planning for. So yeah, I mean, my nails, when I look down at my hands, usually my hands are in frame a lot. So I was stuttering there. So I do a lot of things with my hands on camera. I record a lot of courses for my online business school for entrepreneurs. So my hands are in the frame a lot. If they don't look good, I feel bad. So right now, I am asking you to not look at my nails that much. Thank you. All right, so this is my layout. Very, very simple. But let's fill this in. And I always grab my phone for this. Right, so I use my Google Calendar in combination with my Hobonichi Weeks planner. So all the appointments that are in here, I will also put in here so that I have a archive. I've had like 2 times where I was using Apple Calendar, and Apple Calendar removed all of my appointments. It was the weirdest thing ever. I came back the next morning, all of my appointments were gone. I've never had that problem with Google Calendar, but I'm still a little traumatized. So I'm like always keeping like a backlog in my planner. So yeah, my first meeting of the week is on a Friday actually. I don't have a lot of meetings because it's like summer vacation time in the Netherlands. So a lot of people are just like out of office. So there's not a lot of meetings. Alright, so on Fridays, I usually also post like a vlog at 7 o'clock. I don't think I'll do that this week because I've been sick. And then on Sundays at 9, I also post my Bujo videos or my planning videos. So that is always on Sunday. I forgot that on Mondays, I started like a new YouTube channel. It's called The Pop Off. And that's where I discuss pop culture news. So I started posting videos at 7. I don't think I'll make it next week because I've been sick. But it's nice to have that in here because it'll get me in a rhythm for next week. So next week I'll flip over and I'll be like, oh, what are like the staples that I do every week? And I'll see it in my planner and be like, oh, I post 3 videos a week if I'm actually on schedule, because it doesn't always happen. And so on Sundays, I also do some planning, which we are doing now, planning. And I want to put on a sticker for watering the plants because I always water my plants and take care of my plants on a Sunday. Like my Sunday is the day where I center myself and my household, which I haven't been doing because I was sick. So, you know, it's overdue. I've got these really cute stickers over here. So let's get the one with the plants for Sunday. Like how cute are these? So what I always forget is that people use planner stickers so that they don't have to write out what they have to do. So reoccurring tasks like watering the plants, I don't have to write it out. I can just use a cute sticker, but I often forget. But now I'm actually thinking about it. So using the stickers is obviously a way to make your planner look a little bit more cuter, a little bit more fun when you open it. And I have to say I'm a very visual person, meaning that if things look cute and fun, they make me want to do it even more. I also have these cute laundry basket stickers, which I really need to do my laundry. I hate doing laundry. I don't know why I dislike it so much. I think it just takes too much time, in my opinion. Like all the folding, all the ironing. I'm like, ugh, who wants to do that? All right, so my Saturday, this coming Saturday, is gonna be all about laundry and cleaning, because Lord knows it's necessary. All right, so now that we have the section for all the appointments done, I've added some stickers for my chores, laundry, and the plants. And then these little boxes are my theme boxes or my extra information boxes that correspond with my appointment. So let's say this is a TOP video. It's the pop-off video. So for example, if I want to remind myself what the subject for this video needs to be, I will write it in this box and I will know, oh, that is extra information about my appointment. And that's how I use these boxes. It creates a bit of a focal point for myself so that I can't forget that this is important. So if it's in this box, I need to fix it. I need to check it. I need to not forget. These boxes are for weight loss tracking and for workout tracking. So a good example is like this week. As you can see, I've been tracking how many kilometers I walk, how long I've been fasting, my weight loss, if I've been sick and not whatnot. So I keep all of that in my planner. I also keep track of my period because that is important for women. Okay. So now there's nothing in these boxes because the week still has to begin. So what we can do is check out the grocery shopping, personal section, and lesson plan section. So personal is all of my household chores, and grocery shopping is everything that I need to buy or have in my fridge. So let's check that out. So right now I have some bell peppers in my fridge. I have a, what's that called in English? A courgette, a zucchini. That's what it's called in English. We say courgette in Dutch. I also have a lot of eggs that I need to finish. I have some kvark, which is like a really thick yogurt. I have some chicken in the freezer. And I also have some minced beef in the freezer. And I also have some macaroni sauce, but I will eat that today. So every time I buy new groceries, ooh, I also have bread. Every time I buy new groceries, I put it here and then I can see what I've been eating. And every time I've eaten something or finished a meal or a dish, I will use this green highlighter to stripe it out. And that's how I keep track of what's in my fridge. And that's how I make sure I actually eat what I have in my house. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I do have waste. but it does help me go more towards less waste, and that is good. Now, personal is everything that I need to do for myself and in my house. So I need to do laundry, yay. I don't like doing laundry. I also need to iron my clothes. I need to put everything away. Something that is very high on the list is clean and declutter walk-in closet, because I have a walk-in closet which is a mess and I want to move this year, so I have to figure out everything that is over date or that should go, you know. I have to do some vacuum cleaning, and I also need to mop the floor, and I need to change the bedding or my sheets, the bed sheet, change the bed sheets. And what do I also need to do? All right, the toilet. Toilet, clean, sesh, also the bathroom. Bathroom, cleaning. And there's one more thing that I really need to do. Oh, right, I need to like do the dishes. I actually want to create like this chore list for around the house that keeps coming back, because these are things you actually have to do every week, right? But I keep writing them down every time, and I feel like I could create this task list in the back of my Hobonichi weeks, but yeah, we're not there yet. My lesson plan is for learning Korean. So I try to learn Korean at least 20 minutes a day every weekday. Usually I'm over. Usually I do like, what's it called? Like 30 to 45 minutes. And that's how I've been picking it up quite quickly, I think, since January this year. Kind of proud of myself that I learned a whole new alphabet, that I can actually read it, that my pronunciation is not too shabby, and now I'm on to learning how to create sentences. And I've been doing a terrible job of tracking how much I actually study, so I need to get back into the habit of tracking that every day. So that's why that's in here. Now I want to make it look a little bit prettier. So we're gonna add some really cute, ooh, look at these. The Monsters.co. I'm telling you, the girl who created this little character, I feel like if she does her business well, she can be rich as fuck. Because this character is so adorable. I think she's already doing really well in business, but you know what? I'm a business owner. I'm always looking for more. And I was having this debate with myself and other entrepreneurs where people are like, oh, you know, you're all about money and doing business shouldn't be all about money. You got to help people. I'm like, look, man, it sounds noble and stuff, but if you don't make money yourself, if you are not financially stable yourself, how are you going to help someone else? You are not being valuable to society if you cannot pay your own bills, you know? So you really need to be good yourself first before you start helping other people. I know that sounds counterintuitive because everyone always tells you like, you gotta be helpful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying you can't be helpful in between, but when it comes to really, really being helpful also financially and being able to support people for a longer time, you need to be financially free yourself first. Can't tell me otherwise unless you have a really good argument. But yeah. So that's why I'm like, go make your money, honey, because once you're good, you can start giving back without hurting yourself or your family. And I think that is good. You always need to be self-sufficient first. So yeah, that's why I'm all about making sure that I'm financially stable and financially free, and I hope that you're working on that too. I was also working with a client who told me that a lot of women in the Netherlands, after they have a baby, they have like a hole in their resume because obviously they start taking care of their kids for a couple of years, and then it's harder for them to find a job, so they become financially dependent on their husbands or wives, and that can be really bad if you suddenly get like a divorce or something and you can't get a job anymore. So that's why I think especially women need to take care of themselves. So yeah, that was my TED Talk. I'll shut up now. We've also just finished productive planning for week 33, which is the week of August 14th. And now we're gonna go over to my bullet journal because that is the one I use in combination with my Hobonichi weeks. So here he is. Hello, little baby. This is like my brain on paper. Without it, I don't know how I would function. Probably not. So I keep this really simple. All I do is create a header, which is basically just a line. I know, fancy, right? Wow, look at that, a line. Okay, so, and then we write down the date, which is Monday, the 14th of August in 2023. And I like numbering my bullet journal pages because, you know, when you look back, it's fun to see what you did in which periods and why and how busy you were. And it also gives you a really good insight in what you actually got done. If you feel overwhelmed quite quickly, it is good to keep track of what you can actually do per day. Because then let's say you work for a boss, or if you're a business owner as well and you have clients, you can say, hey, I've gotten like 3 tasks on my list right now. I can't take on 1 more for today, but tomorrow you'll be the first. And that's how you can learn to create boundaries and feel out what is able or what you are able to do on a day, which is better for your mental and physical health. So that's why I like to archive things as well. Let me take a sip of tea because, woo, child, my throat is starting to create a vocal fry and it ain't cute. You know what? I feel a little fancy today. I want to add a little sticker on the side here. Because I don't know, I feel happy talking to you today. I'm like ready to roll. I'm totally feeling it. So, oh, I like, no, that's a birthday sticker. What is like a, you know what? I don't care that it's a birthday sticker. I like the one with the balloons. I want to use that because it makes me feel happy. How cute is it? Look, with the balloons, this one. How cute. Okay. All right. Awesome sauce. Just a little bit of fanciness. Not too much, just a little. So the reason for me not creating bullet journals with all of the embellishments and decorations is because my brain will get distracted and I'll be like, this is cluttering up my page, and then I get annoyed, then I'm gonna wanna make another bullet journal list. So I just keep it minimalistic from the get-go because I know it'll save me time and annoyance. So I have this routine that I do every Monday. Okay, so let's work that out. What I do on Monday, first things first, is I check emails and I respond. Second thing on the list is I check my Facebook group. So you may have already gathered that I'm an entrepreneur. So I have 2 businesses, a marketing agency and a business school. And for my business school, I have a Facebook group. It's free and people can ask their questions about doing business to me. So I check my Facebook group every Monday if there's like new members or requests for new members. And then I also add them to my email list. Add to email list. I also post a promo post. Post a promo post so people know they can promote their own business in the group, which is allowed in mine. And then what I also do, which is something I haven't been able to do for a while, is to create a podcast blog article, which I already wrote. So all I have to do right now is do a spell check, but usually I write the whole blog post on Monday. Then I record that blog article as a podcast. And then I also edit it and publish it. And with that comes a newsletter in which I also share the podcast. And I also write down what I need to promote in that newsletter as well. Because the newsletter is not just to be helpful, it also needs to help me sell, because baby, that is email marketing. And then I also need to put out a social media post so I can be visible on social media and attract potential clients. So these are tasks that I often do on Monday, so they keep coming back every Monday. I've learned that when it comes to being productive, for me personally, it is a good idea to group tasks that belong together. So on Monday, I do a lot of content creation. I make a podcast article, I record the podcast, I create a newsletter, and it's all based on content creation. So what has helped me is to group all of these content creation tasks together, and it helps me to get into the content creation flow. And I've been doing this for a couple of months now, so it's kind of like my body and my brain already know, ooh, Monday comes around, content creation day, let's roll. And I've been able to create a habit for myself and a workflow that is now so familiar to me that it kind of goes, even without this list, I know what to do, which is good. But I still create the list because I'm a very visual person. So when I finish a task, I can use my green highlighter, cross it out. And if I didn't finish a task, I will use yellow to indicate that I need to transfer it to the next day. And I also have red to indicate that a task is very, very, very important. So yeah, 3 colors, 1 list, works like a charm. Now, obviously, this bullet journal I use in combination with my Hobonichi weeks. They're always on my desk like this, so I can see what my appointments are. So let's say if I were to have an appointment on Monday that I also have tasks for, I would add that to my bullet journal list so that they get done automatically. Right now, it says that I have to make a video for my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, but I don't think I will be able to do that because I'm behind on making videos for that certain channel because I got sick, so I won't put that task on Monday. Or maybe I will, and then let me just do that, because then I know how to transfer that to the next week. So I'll call it the COP video research, because I always research for these videos, and then edit, plan, plus publish. So I already know that this video is not going to be done this week, so I will put this little arrow next to it so I know it's going to be passed on to the next one. But you know what? It is a good idea actually to put this video on here, because then I know that I cannot forget. At least it's in my bullet journal, therefore I need to do it at some point this coming week. Alright, my lovies, I hope you enjoyed watching me do some productive planning. I know it's not super fancy, but that's not the goal for me. I just want my stuff to get done. I want to create an overview that works for me and a system that I can use for the long term, and I've definitely been able to create one for myself. If you liked any of the things that I did in this video, feel free to copy and make it your own. If you don't like something, just don't even think about it. But I hope this video inspired you to create a productive system for yourself and kill it next week, week 33. Let's make something awesome of our lives for the coming week. And if you want to see more, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, thumbs up this video, and let me know what you think about my system, because I'm always willing to learn. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.